Hello again, this is Lee Thurburn, and in this video I'm going to show you how to change the labels or the names that are on the various accounts. Okay, so why is this important? Well, first of all, let's go back to entering general journal entries. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the admin area, open the general journal entry pop-up. And I'm not going to put anything in. I'm just going to come down to where you select an account. I'm going to click on expenses, and then I'm going to open the selector for all of the, I'm going to move this up a little bit, for all the different expenses. And I want you to notice that we have all kinds of expenses organized alphabetically, but unless you know, it can be a little tricky to remember which ones are cost of goods sold, which ones are operating expenses, and which ones are other expenses in the other income and expenses section. So I want to show you how you might organize that to make it a little bit more just intuitive when you're doing entries. So let's go over to expenses, and we're going to open expenses. And you're going to see that expenses are actually organized into different groupings. There's operating expenses, cost of goods sold, and other expenses. And every expense has the ability to be customized. Every account actually has the ability to be customized. Now, let's just take brake repair. I'm going to go ahead and you actually have two different things that you can do. You can edit using this little pencil and paper edit button here. You can edit the account name. So you might use what I do is I put vehicles. I put vehicles in front of brake repair, and that organizes, and I'm just going to show you this right now. I'm going to go ahead and click the little save icon here. So that now is taking the cost of goods sold vehicle brake repair and puts it down at the bottom because V, of course, is further down the alphabet. Now I'm going to come up here to admin and go to general journal entry. And we're going to go ahead and open the select for expenses, and we're going to scroll down, and you'll see that down here at the bottom I have vehicles-brake repair. Okay, so why is that important? Well, that makes it real obvious to you that if you're inputting an item like repair or insurance or something like that, that it's part of the cost of goods sold variable expense section. You've changed the label to indicate that it goes in the cost of goods sold area when it gets displayed. So I'm just going to close this, and I'm going to go back over to expenses. But you could do this. You don't have to write the word vehicles. I could come down here and I could actually change this to say COGS for cost of goods sold. So I could just COGS and delete that. And that would put it up at the top of this section because it would be, alphabetically C comes earlier. So you see we've moved it back to the top. Now, I want to also show you another edit option here. So I'm going to come over to this green edit over on the right, and this is how you determine or control how the different the different expense accounts and income accounts are positioned, where they're placed, and what kind of functionalities they have. So this is an expense. The expense name is COGS-brake repair. And you can decide to put this either in operating, cost of goods sold, or other expense sections by just simply changing the radio button here. But you can also determine whether or not this is an expense that is literally bounded to, or where you can select vehicles for which it applies. Okay, so there are some expenses that are variable expenses but don't really need to be bounded to a vehicle. One of the examples of that I would like to suggest might be toll road fees. Certainly, we could track toll road fees on a vehicle by vehicle basis, But quite honestly, I don't know that that tells you anything that's an actionable piece of intelligence. So, whereas, brake repairs might be something that you want to track on a vehicle by vehicle basis. They're relatively infrequent and they're relatively large dollar amounts. Toll road fees are determined by just where people drive. And, that may not be something that you need to track on a vehicle by vehicle basis, but they are a variable expense because those expense items, the toll road fees, are directly variable based upon how much people drive your vehicles on toll roads. So we might come over here and let's just say we're going to edit this to call it cost of goods sold. So we'll do COGS, and I put a little hyphen there just to make it look nice. So that'll put it up at the top of the cost of goods sold section, toll road fees. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to edit that. I'm not going to bound that to vehicles. I'm going to take that off of being bounded to vehicles. What does that do? Okay, so that you understand specifically what that does, let's go back to admin. We'll go to general journal and we will, we're going to select expenses. And then I'm now going to look for, here's my cost of goods sold section, nice kind of near the top. And if I choose brake repair, bounded to vehicles means I get to select the vehicle from a list of vehicles. And there would be a list of vehicles here. Right now we only have one vehicle. If I choose toll road fees, there's no list of vehicles. So that just shows you the relationship between those different settings that you can set up. So let's now just go back over to expenses. Banking. I'm going to go to expenses, and we're going to go ahead and put cost of goods sold. I'm just going to click here, and I'm going to copy that so that it's a real easy paste, and then we're just going to go into each one of the cost of goods sold and we'll put that in front, and now we'll have all of our cost of goods sold items or expense items bundled together in the expense select list in one area. And that just makes it a little easier. All right, now that we have all of the changes made that we wanted to make, we can go to the general journal and we can select expenses. Now we'll do the drop down and notice how nice and neat all of our cost of goods sold items are kind of at the top, and they're indicated so that we can easily select which of the cost of goods sold items we want, and then they'll show up correctly. Now I'm going to go to Reports, Income Statement, and we're going to use the filter and choose the year 2023 again, and we'll go to the end of the year and make it 2023, and we'll apply our filter. And now you'll see that under operating cost of goods sold, we have COGS, and each one of these things show up. And so now we have a nice clean operating cost of goods sold section, and there you have it. So nice and neat display. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. I know you'll get a chance to use it, and thank you for watching.